Hi, thanks for watching. This is just a quick demo of some Otto links through the generations. In front of me you see a very modern Super Tone Master. These are all 7-star. This one's got the font on the shank and they're all USA, and there are no quotation marks around the Super. Other than that, it's pretty similar to this one, which was before they dropped the quotation marks on the stamp around the Super. They're pretty similar beasts, these two. Apologise for the camera work up front, and I'm not going to fuss over it because that's not the object of this video. I'll be as clear as I can, but so that's those two. If anything, this one might have a slightly more baffle as well. And then I've got an early Babbitt with a larger font on the side, USA on the shank, and a lot more baffle. Okay. And then a Florida, which has a longer baffle, a smaller font on the side for the 7-star than this one. And in typical fashion, there's not an awful lot of gold left on that one. It's the nickel plating underneath. If it is nickel plating, some people say rhodium, some say silver. I'm not sure about the eras, but regardless, in appearance, it looks quite silver. Now, these two have longer bodies. And when I say bodies, I'm talking about this barrel part here. So the modern ones have longer barrels than both the Florida and the early Babbitt. They are very similar. You can see it much better from the bird's eye view that I've got. I appreciate the camera's distorting that, but that's a longer body and it's the same as this one. The difference between these two, other than the shelf baffle length, is that when you line up the two barrel bodies, you can see that the early Babbitt has a longer shank. Again, by eye, it's more visible than in this camera shot. So the purpose of this video is because I've bought a very modern FL. This one is a 7. It's got a serial number on one side and a very small font, 7 on the other, USA and FL on the shank. So which one is this closest to? Well, I'm going to cut straight to the chase, not keep you hanging. It's most similar to the early Babbitt, because the shelf baffles are about the same. And possibly the same in height as well. The barrel, as I called it, of the body is about the same. And believe it or not, when the camera plays a few tricks, the shank is about the same. So it's got most similarity to that as opposed to the Florida, where this shank is shorter, the baffle's longer, but it does share the same sort of length barrel, I would say. Okay, now there's a couple more differences though. This one isn't similar to any of the other pieces in front of me in terms of the way this beak goes up. It's looking a bit higher. I'm not sure how that's going to translate in the mouth, but it's looking a bit higher, and the others have got a much sharper kind of radius in there than that one has. So that's a difference. And then there's one more thing that I will measure later. From the surface of the table down into the floor, I'll post it in the comments to see what kind of depth that is in comparison to the others, because that's quite a critical measurement. And the way it does differ actually from the early Babbitt is it's not as wide at the tip. Don't know whether the camera is picking that up. It's more similar to the two modern ones in terms of how wide it is at the tip, even though I think it's somewhere in the middle. Okay, so between the modern ones and the early Babbitt, the width of that sits somewhere in the middle. Thanks for watching.